Live from Fox 35 News, you're watching Good Day Orlando.
4 a.m. here on Good Day Orlando. A suspect killed by police not far from an Orlando high school, while officers argue they were forced to defend themselves. Running his final mile, a teen who created a nonprofit that honors fallen heroes is now passing the torch.
It just started with me running for fun in my neighborhood, and it's turned into a national nonprofit.
It certainly has, and we're going to tell you what he plans next just ahead. Also, beware of fog. You may want to take it slow on some Central Florida roadways this morning. We're going to tell you when the mist is set to lift. But first, hello. Good morning to you, Central Florida. It certainly is good to see you as always on this last day of 2024. So glad we're here together, dark and early at 4 a.m. I'm Danielle Knox. Let's check in with Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson. Hey, Jess.
Hey, good morning, Danielle. Good morning, Central Florida. Yeah, we are off to a bit of a foggy start to our day. Not everyone is seeing the fog, but we do have that dense fog advisory that's in place until 9 a.m. for much of the Central Florida area. In fact, much of the Florida Peninsula is under a dense fog advisory at this point. So again, that's going to continue through 9 a.m. And this is actually a live view of Titusville, believe it or not. It's really tough to see much at all. Usually we can have a pretty good view of the palm trees and the lights in Titusville, but we're not really seeing that a whole lot right now. So visibility has been reduced by quite a bit. So you want to make sure that you are giving yourself plenty of time to get out the door into your destination safely. And as always, use those low beams if you do encounter some of that patchy dense fog. Temperatures this morning are quite warm as well. We are sitting right around the mid to upper 60s at this hour. So it is very balmy outside. 66 degrees right now in Orlando, but 68 in Bithlo and Sanford, 67 right now in DeLand, even 69 degrees right now in Cocoa Beach. So overall, yeah, it's a bit of a foggy start to our day, very warm start to our day to say the least. And temperatures today are going to be once again well above normal, approaching the low 80s for many spots. So coming up, I'll talk more on how long this warm stretch will last and how the first few days of 2024 are looking. That's going to be coming up in just a few minutes. Until then, Danielle, listen back to you.
We appreciate it, Jess. Thank you so much. We do want to start with breaking news here in the top of the 4 o'clock hour. We're learning more about an officer-involved shooting in Orlando. It happened 1 block away from a high school in Pine Hills. Officers responded to Shining Willow Terrace around 9:13 last night for domestic disturbance. That's where police say they found the 26-year-old suspect inside a home there. The Orlando police chief says officers noticed the suspect had a gun, told him do not touch that gun. Investigators say the suspect took off running but got cut off by police. Officers tased him when he reportedly refused commands.
The suspect then pulled the taser prongs out. The suspect reached for his gun that was on the ground near him, disobeying the verbal commands. As a result, both officers shot the suspect.
And the chief says the suspect died at the scene. The suspect has not yet been identified, but police say he is a convicted felon with a long rap sheet and had previous arrests for battery, domestic violence, and robbery. No officers were hurt and will be on paid administrative leave while FDLE investigates. Also happening in just a few hours, the woman accused of shooting her husband inside a Daytona Beach hospital is scheduled to appear in court. Investigators say Ellen Gilland shot her terminally ill husband as part of a suicide pact. She was initially charged with first-degree murder, but her charges were changed to assisting self-murder and aggravated assault. Court starts at 8:30 this morning. Again, that is in Daytona Beach. 4:03 is the time, as you know, right? Thousands of people are expected downtown tonight for the New Year's Eve celebrations that are going to commence down there. It's not just the parties, though, bringing people to Orlando. Sports fans are in town as well for the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl at Camping World Stadium. Businesses say they are excited about the boost, but some are concerned about the safety. So on November 1st, 2 people were killed and 10 were hurt in a shooting during Halloween celebrations downtown, you might recall. After the shooting, the city converted some downtown one-way streets into two-way streets to help remove the street party atmosphere. Orlando police issued a statement saying in part that they are committed to ensuring the safety of everyone celebrating the new year. OPD and many other people in police departments will have increased patrols to watch out for drunk drivers. 4:04. The rescue of a beloved New Year's tradition will likely boost turnout downtown. Fox 35 was the first to tell you about the new plan to keep the orange ball drop. It was held on Church Street for decades. Well, now the ball drop will happen at the Reindeer Room during Thornton Park's New Year's party. The ball drop was initially canceled because the original organizers closed several of their bars and clubs downtown. The owner of the Reindeer Room tells us they knew they had to step up.
We saw on the news that they weren't doing the ball drop on Church Street. It's been a tradition for so many years that we thought, hey, if we can pull it off, wouldn't it be great to keep the tradition going? So we reached out to our friends over at Church Street. They were willing to let us use the ball. And so very quickly, we've been working on logistics to try to make it happen.
Oh, it's so neat. It's going to continue. The orange ball is more than 25 years old. They're currently fixing it and making sure it's nice, bright, and shiny to ring in 2025. And sports fans will be flocking to downtown Orlando tonight for Camping World Stadium's third and final bowl game of the college football season. This is South Carolina. The Gamecocks and the Illinois Fighting Illini will meet on the field at 3 this afternoon. Tickets are still available starting around $50 in addition to the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Camping World Stadium also hosted the Staff DNA Cure Bowl and the Pop-Tarts Bowl as well. It is now 4:06, turning our attention to Volusia County. This morning, a man at the center of a deadly standoff and stand your ground case is now cleared of criminal charges. This is a story that made national headlines. Fox 35's Hannah McKenzie spoke with the mother of the man who was killed. It is now 4:07, and right now flags are ordered to fly at half-staff until sunset on January 28th to honor former President Jimmy Carter. The country's 39th president died on Sunday at 100 years old. On the 4th, a procession will escort Carter from his home in Plains, Georgia to Washington, D.C. Carter will then lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda before his memorial service on January 9th. President Biden is set to deliver the eulogy. After the service, Carter will be brought back to Plains, where he will be buried right next to his wife, Rosalind. The founder of the group Running for Heroes just finished his last run to honor fallen first responders. It happened last night in Sanford. Fox 35's Stephanie Buff-Monty spoke with the teen about the end of his journey and what's next for this talented young man. Oh, what an amazing effort by Zachariah. We can tell you that while he may have had his last run, the organization Running for Heroes is not ending. Kids ages 9 to 15 will keep on running miles for fallen first responders, and the organization says it is always looking for more kids to join the cause. As for Zachariah, he'll now be sitting on the board and will be a mentor to those kids who are running. Well, it is now 11 minutes after the 4 o'clock hour. Coming up next on Good Day Orlando, people are bringing out the fireworks for tonight's New Year's celebrations. In fact, I heard some last night. So in some places it started early, but we're going to tell you the rules Floridians need to follow. Plus, a Brightline train collides with a fire truck after the break. A passenger who was on that train shares what he believes the truck was on the tracks for. Stay with us.
The Fox 35 Care Force, it's our commitment to Central Florida.
The largest walk in the country.
We raise money and get school supplies to families in need.
We're helping over 1,000 families with full Thanksgiving baskets this year.
To make a difference, help people who need support from guide dogs. As of right now, we have about 945 toys.
Why do we do this? Because it's the right thing to do. The Fox 35 Care Force. Depend on us.
4:13, we do want to welcome you back to Good Day Orlando on this last day of 2024. And we do have some new details about the Brightline train that slammed into the fire truck on Saturday that was heading to Orlando. This is video released by Brightline after that crash in Delray Beach. Fox 35's Randy Hildreth spoke to a man who was on board his trip home when it came to a halt. 4:16 is the time right now. No water in our forecast as we bring Jess in here.
Yeah, it's actually good. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty dry. Only a couple sprinkles really today, but yesterday we did see a decent amount of sunshine once the fog cleared out, so that was nice. But today we have another morning with some dense fog in and around the region. This is a live view of our iDrive camera, and we can certainly tell that, there's some low-hanging clouds and some reduced visibility, and that's going to be the case kind of very hit and miss throughout central Florida. We're at 68 degrees right now. Our drive camera there in Orange County, of course. That dense fog advisory, though, really encompasses much of central Florida. I know we don't have a couple of counties. That's going to be Flagler and parts of Marion County. Those 2 counties are not included in this dense fog advisory. That being said, they could still experience, you guys could still experience some patchy dense fog in those spots. But otherwise, all of us are under this dense fog advisory until about 9 a.m. So that fog will gradually clear, and that's going to be taking place closer to the late morning hours. So roughly around 9-10 a.m. We did see some of it linger a little extra long yesterday, and we could experience something a little similar today as well. So just something to keep in mind. But otherwise, we'll see about a 10 to 20% chance of a stray sprinkle or two as temperatures turn on the warm side yet again. So we're going to be looking at highs right around the upper 70s and low 80s for this afternoon. We do have a forecast high in Orlando today of 80 degrees. So it's going to be a warm one out there. We're almost 10 degrees above normal. We do have that 20% chance of rain that will also begin close to about midday, late morning, midday hours, and that will continue through much of the afternoon, just for a couple of hit and miss showers. We're not looking at a complete and total washout by any means, but just a couple of lingering showers are going to be possible. So when it comes to our highs today, those are going to be hovering right around, again, the upper 70s and low 80s. It is going to be a toasty one today. We're looking at a high of 80 in Orlando, 79 in Sanford and Bithlo, 79 as well in St. Cloud and DeLand, 78 in Leesburg, Claremont, and the Villages. So all in all, it is going to be a warm one. And as we head into your New Year's Eve, we're going to continue to see temperatures on the warmer side into the 50s and 60s as we head into tonight, staying nice and clear as well. And as we bring in the new year, we're going to be expecting those clearing skies to continue to take shape. So that is some good news as well. But I do want to talk about our clouds and radar. So looking at future clouds and radar, we are going to be expecting a couple of these very hit and miss showers. These are going to be taking place over the course of around, this is looking ahead towards around 11 a.m. So we are going to be expecting these to be right around a 20% chance. Not everyone will see these, and we'll continue to expect these through about 3-4 o'clock before things eventually kind of fizzle out as we head into the late afternoon and evening hours. So again, not a complete and total loss of a day, but what we're really focusing on once we kind of get past today and the New Year's Eve forecast is going to be this extended outlook where temperatures are going to be turning much colder. We have a very high chance of below normal temperatures, and we're talking well below normal. Highs potentially only in the 40s and 50s, overnight lows possibly in the 20s for a couple of spots. So this is going to be roughly for the second week or so of January. So we still have a little ways to go. Hopefully things can turn up in terms of what the forecast is, going to be showing in terms of the extended forecast, because when we look at these extended models, that really can, waver and things can change this far out. But it's just going to be something that we really continue to watch. So this is issued by the Climate Prediction Center. It's just our temperature outlook showing us that we have a very high chance of below normal temperatures. Here's your 7-day forecast, which we do expect to cool down on the way for Saturday specifically. So this weekend, we are getting some pretty good signals that Saturday is going to be one of the cooler days of the next several with a high of 60 degrees. That is not going to be the cool down, though, that we're anticipating that I just mentioned. That's going to be about a week or so from today, tomorrow. That's when that could begin to take shape. But otherwise, we'll stay right around the mid to upper 60s through about Friday, and then we dip down to those low 60s for Saturday. But we bounce back quickly by Sunday and Monday. It is 4:20. Time now for a look at Skyfox traffic this morning, and we're off to a pretty quiet start to our day. But that being said, this is going to be I-4 at U.S. Highway 27. This is where we can certainly tell there is some reduced visibility out there. So this is going to be close to the Osceola County and Polk County border. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, your drive time is in good shape. Just 25 minutes from U.S. Highway 27 into downtown Orlando. All right, it's 4:20. I'll send it back over to Danielle at the desk.
All right, Jess, thanks. We appreciate it. Coming up next on Good Day Orlando this morning, auto insurance rates are on the rise. What more drivers are doing because of this trend, that is just ahead. And always on call, an off-duty paramedic steps in to save a life when he sees a blazing car fire. While he says what he did was nothing extraordinary. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Fox Local is Fox 35. Live news and more. On your phone, on your TV. Fox Local is built for you. Fox Local.
And welcome back. The stock market is poised to end on a sour note this year. All of the major indices suffering big losses on the second to last day of trading this year. Tech companies saw big declines. Today, the final day of trading before the new year. Markets are closed tomorrow for the holiday. Vehicle owners are driving into the new year on a collision course with rising insurance rates. Costs have exploded in the last 2 years, and the trend is expected to continue. Fox 35's Max Gordon explains what's driving up costs. 426. Coming up next on Good Day Orlando this morning, Fox 35 investigates Country Thunder refunds. We stepped in when frustrated fans asked for answers. The positive update this morning. And an update on the Trumbull Police Department. Holly Hill's new police chief is talking about the strides made during his first 100 days in office.
The positivity around this community has been awesome and unbelievable.
What the department is working on to improve trust with the community. 427 now, the 4:30 half hour of Good Day Orlando is on deck next.
I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. Join us tonight on Fox 35 News.
Live from Fox 35 News, you're watching Good Day Orlando.
Good morning, Central Florida. Certainly is good to have you with us here in the 4:30 half hour of Good Day Orlando right now. The future is hopeful for the thousands of people left without Country Thunder refunds. Take a listen.
It was the attention you gave us and what you brought forward for us.
Coming up, we're going to give you the very latest on how a Fox 35 investigation is getting fans the answers they want. An off-duty paramedic finds himself in the right place at the right time. He helped pull a driver from a burning car. What he says would have happened just seconds later. And beware of fog. You may want to take it slow on some Central Florida roadways this morning. We're going to tell you when the mist is set to lift. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the 4:30 half hour. And again, good to see you this morning. Hope you're doing all right this morning. All right, how is the weather doing? Let's check in with Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson. Hey, Jess.
Hey, good morning, Danielle, and good morning, Central Florida. We are off to a very warm start to our day, but also a very foggy start to our day. This is a live view of Titusville this morning, our Launch Credit Union camera in Brevard County, where we can certainly tell there's a lot in the way of some patchy dense fog. We usually can see a lot more in Titusville. You can usually see some of the buildings, some of the street lights, and also some of the palm trees, but that's just not the case this morning. So visibility has been reduced, which has led to that dense fog advisory being issued for most of our counties this morning. Even the counties that aren't under this dense fog advisory, that's going to be Flagler County and Marion counties. You guys are likely still going to be seeing some of that dense fog as well, but otherwise the rest of us will see that dense fog advisory until 9 a.m. And that's essentially when we can expect some slow and steady improvement. So by about late mornings when we expect a lot of things to gradually clear and that fog will lift out of here. But looking at temperatures this morning, it is quite warm to start off our last day of 2024. 66 degrees right now in Orlando, 68 right now in Bithlo and Sanford, 67 in DeLand, and 65 in the Villages at this hour. So it is a bit of a balmy start to our day, to say the least. So looking at our forecast for today, we are going to be expecting temperatures to climb steadily into the upper 70s and low 80s. So we do actually expect a high of 80 degrees today in Orlando. That is almost 10 degrees above normal. So coming up, I'm going to be talking more on how long this warm stretch will last and how the start of 2024 is looking. That's going to be coming up in just a few minutes. But until then, Danielle, I'll send it back over to you.
And we'll take it, Jess. Thanks so much. It is 4:32 from Fox 35 Mission Control this morning. The final SpaceX launch of the year took off on the Space Coast while you were sleeping. Here's the moment the rocket blasted off.
3, 2, 1, ignition and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
According to SpaceX's website, this was the company's 134th orbital launch of 2024. It's a new record, with SpaceX performing nearly 40% more launches this year than the 96 missions that happened in 2023. Also, we do have this update this morning. It's a Fox 35 investigation into Country Thunder refunds. We are hearing from frustrated fans who never got their money back after this year's event had to be canceled because of Hurricane Milton. Well, now, months later, many say the money is hitting their bank accounts. Fox 35's Marie Edinger shares the update. Well, we started looking into these refund issues because viewers sent us a tip. So you can do the same. If you have something that you'd like us to investigate, send us an email to fox35news@fox.com. You can also open the Fox 35 News app and tap Contact Us under the Settings tab. 4:35 is the time. Turning our attention to Polk County now this morning, where a man shoots off his own finger while reportedly shooting at his ex's new boyfriend. Police in Haines City say Jervin Romero and his girlfriend lived together for more than 20 years before they broke up 4 months ago. On Sunday, Romero allegedly broke into the woman's home where she was with her new boyfriend. The suspect opened fire, hitting the victim multiple times. Police say they found Romero hiding in a tree about a mile away. He is charged with attempted murder. The victim is expected to recover. An off-duty paramedic is in the right place at the right time in Marion County. Stephen Cabrera was on his way to work on I-75 Monday morning when he passed by this vehicle fire.
I realized that, this scene kind of escalated a little more than I was expecting to be while off duty.
Cabrera says there was a man trapped inside that car. He and several bystanders jumped right into action, busting out the car's windows. Cabrera used a pocket knife to cut the driver's seatbelt and airbags. I'd say 30 seconds longer and the outcome would have been much worse. Just the time it took to pull him, once he was free and clear and not trapped anymore, pulling him only 10 feet away from the vehicle was all the time it needed for the entire interior to be fully involved in unlivable situation there. The man was rushed to the hospital as a trauma alert. Authorities say the car caught fire after the driver went off the road and hit a tree. FHP is investigating what led up to that crash. Now, this update for you this morning on a troubled police department in Volusia County. Holly Hill Police Chief Byron Williams is talking about his first 100 days in office. The department was under the microscope after the last chief resigned. Fox 35's Chris Lindsay reports. 4:40 is the time. Coming up next on Good Day Orlando on this December 31st, officially cutting ties. A Hollywood couple that just reached a divorce settlement years after they separate. Can you guess who it is? We'll have it just ahead. Also, making positive change in the new year. How experts say you can achieve your goals by making them more attainable. Stay with us. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Taking a live look through our Launch Credit Union camera out at Port Canaveral. One lonely ship sitting there, but there is a truck parked there, so maybe they're getting ready to go out and do some fishing or just enjoy this last day of the year. Your time right now is 4:43. Thanks so much for spending part of your morning with us. Our Fox 35 holiday specials continue tomorrow at 8 p.m. on Fox 35 Plus. We are taking you inside the swamp at Gatorland. Here's a preview. Made it really fun for them to have two girlfriends. Okay, well, that's a whole nother segment for sure. But that was Fox 35's Zach Prudhomme reporting for us there. Gatorland Inside the Swamp will air tomorrow at 8 p.m. on Fox 35 Plus. You'll also be able to watch it on the Fox Local app, along with all of our holiday specials as well. So the new year can be a time for a fresh start for a lot of us, but sticking to a resolution can be challenging. Now people are trying a new way of reaching goals by creating new habits. Psychologists say making slight lifestyle adjustments instead of large resolutions can help cement the changes that people are trying to make. Experts say it's about setting attainable goals instead of lofty ambitions.
If it's getting a 15 minutes more sleep every day or going to bed a few minutes early. If you want to start meditating, it may not be committing to an hour-long meditation session. It might be 2 minutes every morning just to try this new habit.
I love that. Just a little bit at a time. And mental health experts say every journey has its ups and downs. They're reminding people to be kind to themselves if they stumble along the way. Because you know, Jess, as we bring you into this, what happens is if you have a resolution and then you mess up one day, it's just all bets are off. You're just not gonna, you know what I mean? As opposed to giving yourself grace and say, okay, let's try again tomorrow.
I think that's, I'm not a huge fan of resolutions because I feel like we try to flip the script too quickly all at once. It's hard to do that. You can't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can set goals.
Little by little.
Yes, of course.
Little by little, we've got a warm up, but then we're going to have a cool down, then we're going to have a roller coaster.
Yes, roller coaster is right. Yes, hopefully you like some theme park rides because we are going to be a little all over the place here over the course of the next couple of days and really over the next 2 weeks. So let's talk about it. But this morning, the big story is the dense fog. We have a dense fog advisory in place until 9 a.m. for much of central Florida, and this is going to be because of some reduced visibility we have out there. Not everyone is seeing the dense fog, but we are, seeing some of that reduced visibility. So if you do encounter it this morning, it's a good idea to make sure you are turning on your low beams. You are giving yourself plenty of time, plenty of space as you make your way to your destination safely if you have to head out this morning. This is that live view of Titusville where we can see a little bit better now. We turned the camera a little bit so we can see a little bit bit more. But that being said, we can obviously still see there's quite a bit of fog out there. So for today, we'll be dealing with that patchy dense fog through roughly the late morning hours. So by about 9, 10 a.m., we should start to see some pretty quick improvements. Beyond that, we are going to start to see, once the fog clears out, a little bit in the way of a patchy sprinkle or two as well. So about a 10 to 20% chance of rain can be expected for today. Otherwise, temperatures by lunchtime will be up to 72 degrees. And then looking ahead towards around 4 or 5 o'clock, we'll see temperatures approach the low 80s. It is going to be a warm day, almost 10 degrees above normal. We are going to be seeing those temperatures anywhere from the upper 70s into the low 80s for much of Central Florida this afternoon. So we'll make it to 80 today in Orlando, 79 in Bithlo and St. Cloud, 79 as well in Cocoa Beach, Melbourne, 79 in Titusville, and 78 in New Smyrna to Daytona Beach. So all in all, it's going to be a warm day out there, but don't get too used to it because we are going to be tracking some changes, and we'll talk more on what those are in a moment. But before we get there, we do want to talk about your New Year's Eve forecast, because if you have any plans on getting out tonight, you should be in good shape, because this morning, any of the showers that are going to be taking place, they are going to be very hit and miss. We're not expecting a widespread washout by any means. In fact, we'll still see a good amount of sunshine. So a couple of sprinkles will move in through about 11 a.m. These will be lingering in and around the region through about 3, 4 o'clock. By 5 o'clock, we should be nice and dry. That being said, we'll see a couple of clouds move in, but otherwise for tonight, for your New Year's Eve forecast, honestly, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this. It's looking quite mild. Temperatures will be in the mid 60s for most of the evening. So through the 10 o'clock hour, we're looking at 66 degrees. By midnight, 65, and then 63 degrees by 2 a.m. if you are one of the brave souls staying up that late past midnight. But it is going to be nice and dry at least. So you won't have to worry about the rain gear. You won't have to worry about bundling up. But as we look ahead towards about a week or so from now, that's not necessarily going to be the case, because we are expecting a very chilly second week of 2025. So this is looking ahead towards around January 8th through the 14th. This is our temperature outlook that's given to us and placed by the Climate Prediction Center. This essentially shows us the probability, so the chances of are below normal temperatures, above or below normal. So when it's blue, that shows the higher chance of below normal temperatures. And what you need to know is just going to be very cold as we head into parts of the second week or so of January. This is going to be some Arctic air that we're dealing with, and this is going to be bringing temperatures anywhere from around 15 to at least 20 degrees below normal for us. Our normal high, 72 degrees, so that would at least put us right around the 40s and 50s for highs, that is. So that's going to be something we watch really closely, because this is going to be taking shape across much of the eastern half of the U.S. So this will be something we talk about more so as we head into next week, and not necessarily this week so much. But again, you'll be hearing us talk about this quite a lot. But hopefully we can see temperatures and models, the data that we see, that hopefully we can adjust that as needed in terms of making it a little warmer, but we'll keep you posted, of course. Here's your 7-day forecast. So temperatures are going to be overall a little cooler than normal. We'll make it to 70 degrees tomorrow, so noticeably cooler tomorrow. 66 for Thursday. Friday, we bounce back a little bit before we start to see temperatures scale back a bit more. Low 60s for Saturday, mid 60s for Sunday, back to the 70s, so for the following Monday. All right, it is 4:52 and time now for a look at Skyfox traffic, and we have been in good shape. We had one incident, but it's already been cleared out. It happened a little after 4:30, and we've already seen it clear out, so that's some good news. But if you're traveling on the beach line westbound from Cocoa to OIA, so the airport, you're looking at just a 29-minute commute. You can see from our camera there, it looks like we are still dealing with a little bit in the way of some patchy dense fog, so just be mindful of that as you head out this morning. Otherwise, it is 4:52, almost 4:53 now. I'll send it back over to you, Danielle, at the desk.
We appreciate it. Thanks so much, Jess. It is 4:53. Coming up next on Good Day Orlando this morning, your electric rates could be going up. We're going to break it all down just ahead.
Noah knows. Watch Noah Bergeron weeknights on Fox 35.
The time right now is 4:55. Welcome back. Your electric bill could be going up next year. Some companies in Florida are asking for permission to increase their rates. This year's hurricane season knocked out power for thousands. Duke Energy and Tampa Electric are looking to recover some of the costs from the responses to the storm. Duke says its customers could see an increase of about $21 a month. TECO users could see a bump of about $30.81 if it's approved by the commission. Both utilities say the temporary fee will last 12 months starting in March of 2025. The State Office of Public Counsel tells me that it will review each utility's storm recovery proposal to make sure that the costs are accurate. Meantime, Florida Power and Light expected to raise rates as well. The plan would cover 2026 through 2029, so 3 years here. The company pointing to issues such as growth and a need to continue expanding its system. FPL will file its full plan as early as February. After almost a decade, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have finally reached a divorce settlement. It marks an end to one of the longest divorces in Hollywood history, and that's saying something. Jolie filed for divorce from Pitt more than 8 years ago. No documents have been filed yet, and a judge still needs to approve this agreement. Hope you approve that we're going to stick around for the 5 o'clock hour of Good Day Orlando. The news at 5. Ryan's going to join me for that. Is next.